Welcome to Threads of Truth, the podcast where real-life mysteries meet internet speculation. Today's story follows a YouTuber, a cave that shouldn't exist, and a final hike that turned into a haunting internet legend. We're diving deep into the strange and unsettling disappearance of Kenny Veach, a solo hiker and gadget designer from Nevada who vanished back in 2014. I imagine finding something so profoundly unsettling that it vibrates your entire body with fear, something so mysterious you feel compelled to share it online. And then after promising your followers you'd go back to it, you just disappear without a trace.
It really is a compelling human story. It starts with just a simple online comment, right? And it spirals into this perplexing enigma that leaves behind way more questions than answers. Was Kenny Veach chasing a legend? Or was he maybe running from something real?
So our mission today is to unpack the sources you've shared, everything from the case summaries to, some pretty wild online theories. We want to understand the known facts, explore all that rampant internet speculation that's growing around this, and really look at the underlying human elements.
Exactly. We need to connect the dots between, one person's individual journey and the collective imagination of the internet, which really took hold of this case.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Before the M cave, before all the theories.
Yeah.
Who was Kenny Veach? What do we actually know about the man himself?
Right. Kenny Thomas Veach was 47 years old when he disappeared. That was November 10th, 2014. And from all accounts, he wasn't just some casual weekend walker. Kenny was an experienced, I'd even say seasoned, long-distance hiker.
Okay.
He was someone who was really familiar with that rugged, unforgiving terrain of the Nevada desert. It's an environment that demands respect, demands you understand its dangers. He'd spent countless hours out there navigating these vast, often featureless landscapes.
And he had a profession, too.
Yeah. Professionally, he worked as a gadget designer, which sort of hints at a mind that was curious, maybe technically inclined, someone who might pay close attention to unusual details or phenomena. Online, he had this presence on YouTube. His handle was Snakebit McGee.
Snake Mickey, okay.
Yeah. His channel had a steady following, not massive, but dedicated. It was mostly him sharing his adventures. He posted videos exploring abandoned mines, natural caves, that kind of thing, scattered all over the Nevada desert.
So he knew his way around out there.
Absolutely. This background as an experienced outdoorsman is crucial. It really makes his disappearance all the more perplexing. It just doesn't fit the narrative of some novice getting lost. Kenny knew the risks. He understood the challenges. This wasn't someone just stumbling into the wilderness unprepared.
That's a really vital distinction. So not new to this dangerous wilderness, but an expert navigating it. That definitely makes his vanishing even more unnerving.
Precisely. His familiarity with these remote, often dangerous places stretching over years, it makes the total lack of any trace of him so unusual. He was known for being prepared.
Okay, but the real turning point, the spark that ignited this whole mystery, was his encounter with what he called the M cave. How did that story first come out? What made it so weird?
Well, the genesis of the whole M cave legend didn't actually start with one of his own YouTube videos, which you might expect, right?
Yeah.
Instead, it began really unassumingly. Just a simple comment Kenny posted in 2014. He wasn't even on his own channel at first. He left this remark on another hiking channel's video, almost like an aside, in a conversation about finding cool stuff out in the wilderness.
Okay.
He claimed that during one of his hikes, and he specifically mentioned an area out by Nellis Air Force Base, he stumbled upon this, quote, hidden cave.
Nellis.
Yeah.
Right near Area 51 territory.
Exactly. That detail becomes important later for the theorists, but what he said made this cave unique and really unsettling was its entrance. He explicitly described it as being shaped like a perfect capital M.
A perfect capital M naturally formed.
That's what he implied. This precise, almost geometric description immediately sets it apart from, typical irregular cave mouths. It sounds almost artificial, or at least uncannily perfect. It definitely grabbed people's attention reading the comment.
Okay, wow. And what happened when he tried to enter this M cave? Because that's where his story takes a really bizarre, almost physical turn, doesn't it?
Yeah, his description gets really vivid here and deeply unsettling. It moves beyond just seeing something weird. He wrote, and I'm quoting roughly, "As I began to enter the cave, my whole body began to vibrate. The closer I got, the worse it became.
Vibrate, like physically.
That's what he said. Not just a feeling of unease, he described it as a physical, almost visceral reaction. He elaborated, talking about a very deep, resonating hum that seemed to come from the cave itself. Yeah, a deep hum. This combination, the sound and the intense bodily vibration, he claimed it filled him with an overwhelming feeling of dread.
Wow.
It was so overwhelming, so profoundly disturbing, and he implied unnatural, that he said he just fled immediately. He didn't go inside.
Okay, that's intense.
Yeah. This immediate, powerful physical and psychological response is what really sets the M cave apart from any other cave he'd explored. It turns it from just an odd shape into something inexplicable and really captivating for people reading about it. It made his account unique.
Incredibly specific and disturbing. A physical reaction, not just a spooky feeling.
Yeah.
So after this terrifying encounter, he then tried to find it again, but couldn't.
That just adds another layer, right? Like the cave didn't want to be found again.
Exactly. He stated pretty clearly that after that first terrifying encounter, he did try to return, probably driven by, a mix of fear and that undeniable explorer's curiosity.
Sure, you want to know what that was. Right. He must have believed he could retrace his steps, given his hiking expertise and familiarity with the terrain. But despite his experience, despite his knowledge of the area, the cave just seemed to have vanished. He couldn't locate it again, no matter how hard he looked. And that detail immediately added to the mystique. It turned the M cave from just an anomaly into something far more enigmatic. It sparked huge interest, obviously, but also a fair amount of skepticism online. People were like, how could an experienced guy lose such a distinct landmark?
Right. Especially one that had such a profound effect on him.
Exactly. So that detail kind of fueled both belief in its strangeness and doubt about Kenny's whole story.
It sounds like he just blew up online almost instantly.
Yeah.
So how did the community react? I mean, what did they push him to do, especially since he couldn't find it again?
Oh, his comment didn't just fade away. It ignited this huge wave of fascination, dares, theories, you name it. People were totally captivated by the description.
The M shape, the vibration.
Yeah, the M shape, the vibration, the dread. It was a perfect storm for internet mystery. They saw it as this true enigma-defying explanation. Commenters urged him, sometimes playfully, sometimes pretty intensely, like, go back, film it, we need proof.
The pressure was on.
Totally. So in response to all this encouragement, this sort of building pressure from his audience, Kenny posted a video to his own YouTube channel. It was specifically titled M Cave Hike.
Okay, so this was the video where he finds it.
Well, no, that's the thing. Disappointingly for everyone watching, it didn't show the actual M caves he described. The video showed him searching for it, mostly around the Sheep Mountain Range, which is this vast, rugged area, really challenging terrain. He showed viewers other caves he found along the way, maybe potential candidates, but never the M cave, not the one with the perfect M entrance and the terrifying vibes.
Okay.
But crucially, in that video, he did something else. He promised his followers he would eventually go back again, maybe refine his search, use different techniques. And this time, he said, he would definitively locate the original M cave.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. That promise, of course, became absolutely central to the unfolding tragedy. It set the stage for his final trip, left everyone hanging, waiting for the proof, a proof that never came.
And then the critical turning point. The moment this goes from a weird internet story to a serious missing person case.
Yeah.
What happened on November 10th, 2014, when he supposedly went back for that final search.
Right. On November 10th, 2014, Kenny Veach left his home in Las Vegas. He told his girlfriend, Sherry-Ann, that he was just going on a short overnight trip. The explicit purpose, to find the M cave.
Okay. So he told her his plan.
Yes, and a really significant detail from that departure is that he took his 9mm handgun with him.
Why? Protection or something else?
Well, that's debated. It could suggest preparedness for the wilderness, protection against animals or other dangers out there. That's plausible. But for many, it also hints at maybe a deeper apprehension about what he might find. Or, more darkly, perhaps it hinted at his own private intentions for the trip. So he set out alone into that huge, desolate Nevada desert, apparently driven by this quest for the cave and the promise he'd made online. His audience was waiting.
And he just never returned. What did the search efforts find? Anything at all?
Days went by, no Kenny. His car was eventually found, abandoned in a remote area near the Sheep Mountains.
Okay, so they knew roughly where he went.
Roughly, yes. It confirmed his general location, but it raised more questions, really. Then, crucially, 3 days after he disappeared, search and rescue teams located his cell phone
Where?
near an abandoned mine shaft, which, there are hundreds of thousands of those shafts littering Nevada. They're everywhere and incredibly dangerous.
I know all this. Common, but deadly.
Exactly. But despite extensive ground searches, authorities, tons of dedicated volunteers doing grid searches, even a helicopter flying over, no other trace of Kenny was ever found.
Nothing. No gear, no weapon.
Nothing. Not his camping gear, which he definitely wouldn't need it for an overnight trip. Not his handgun. Just the car and the phone near that shaft. And the terrain out there. It's notoriously vast and deadly. Extreme temperatures, incredibly difficult navigation, countless hidden dangers like those shafts. It offers very little hope of finding someone naturally if they get lost or injured.
It's the kind of place that can swallow someone whole.
It really is, without leaving a trace.
You mentioned his girlfriend, Shariana. Her account seems really important, adding this personal, maybe more tragic layer. What did she reveal after the official search stopped and the internet theory started flying?
Yeah, after the official search wound down, leaving the case cold and the internet just buzzing, Sharian did something quite brave, I think. She went on to Kenny's YouTube video into the comment section.
Oh, okay.
And she left this detailed, really poignant comment. It provided crucial insights, offering a profoundly different, much more grounded perspective on his disappearance. She stated very openly that Kenny had been struggling with severe depression for many years before he vanished.
Oh, wow. For years.
Yes, this wasn't something new. It was a long-standing battle. It had even led him to quit his job about a year before he disappeared, which suggests how deeply it was affecting him.
Vital context.
Absolutely vital.
Yeah.
It immediately introduces this more vulnerable human element. It shifts the narrative, away from just an internet mystery or something paranormal into the realm of mental health struggles. It suggests his final trip might have been influenced as much, or maybe more, by internal factors than just curiosity or online pressure. A reminder there's a real person behind the username.
And she had a specific chilling thing Kenny had said to her, didn't she? Something that really shapes her belief about what happened.
Indeed. According to Sharian, Kenny had once made this really chilling, very specific statement to her. She recounted it directly. He told her if he ever decided to take his own life, he said, "No one will ever find me."
Oh my God. No one will ever find me.
Exactly. That statement is profoundly significant. It directly leads to her strong belief that he might have intentionally gone into one of those many uncharted, abandoned mine shafts that just riddle the Nevada desert.
To make sure he fulfilled that statement.
That seems to be her belief. To ensure his body wouldn't be recovered, fulfilling that grim desire for complete disappearance. This personal insight from his closest confidant provides this powerful, so heartbreaking lens to view his vanishing. It suggests a deliberate private act.
And adding weight to that, there was something specific he didn't take with him, right? Despite his promise to his followers.
Yes, and this is a very telling, really critical detail that Sharian revealed. Kenny had not taken his video camera with him on that final hike.
Even though he promised to film the M cave if he found it.
Exactly. Despite that very public promise to his online community, his followers who were waiting for proof, he left a camera behind.
That feels huge.
It's a massive inconsistency. If his main goal for that trip was truly to document the elusive MK for everyone watching, leaving behind the one tool he needed for proof, well, it strongly suggests his real intentions might have been very different from what he told people.
Yeah, points away from documenting a discovery.
Right. It leans much more towards a private, conclusive act. It adds substantial weight to Sharian's tragic theory that he intended to disappear completely. It's like a nonverbal message, maybe the last one he sent.
So, okay. We have the strange M cave story, Kenny's experience, his expertise, his girlfriend's heartbreaking revelations about depression, and his statement, the lack of the camera, and just no trace. The internet must have gone wild. How did places like Reddit and YouTube react to all this?
Oh, absolutely. Wild is an understatement. Kenny's case quickly became like a staple in those creepy YouTube rabbit hole lists,
Yeah, I've seen those.
And it sparked intense, really fervent discussions on platforms like Reddit, especially in communities like Unresolved Mysteries, which is huge for cold cases, and also High Strangeness, which leans more into the paranormal, the weird stuff.
Makes sense.
These platforms basically became these digital melting pots, incubators for just a massive array of theories, breaking everything down, ranging from, the mundane and tragic like suicide to the really outlandish conspiratorial stuff. The online community developed this really complex mix of feelings towards him: admiration for his adventurous spirit, deep sadness for his likely fate, but also this almost obsessive drive to figure it out.
The lack of answers fuels it.
Exactly. The incomplete official investigation, combined with Kenny's own weird claims about the cave, it was just perfect fertile ground for speculation. He rapidly turned into this modern internet legend. His story became a canvas people could paint almost any theory onto.
Okay, let's dig into those theories. Let's start with the most pragmatic, maybe the fattest one, the one his girlfriend seems to believe, the suicide theory.
Right. This is the most widely accepted theory, certainly among law enforcement, who basically had nowhere else to go with the investigation, and most tragically, by his girlfriend, Sherion. The idea is that Kenny Veach took his own life. And the supporting evidence, well, it's compelling in its own way. It pulls together his personal history and the circumstances.
Depression.
Exactly. First, his documented history of battling severe depression for years provides that crucial context for his mental state. It wasn't just a bad day. Second, Sherion's testimony is just invaluable. Her account of his struggle, and especially that chilling statement, "No one will ever find me," it aligns perfectly with the outcome. No body found.
Despite massive searches.
Despite thorough searches. The fact that no trace of him, his gear, or the gun was ever found fits that stated desire for complete disappearance. It's a somber conclusion, sure, but it's rooted in the available human details and, frankly, the known patterns of intentional disappearances in places like that. The desert becomes an accomplice, in a way.
Beyond that personal tragic theory, the desert itself, it offers another plausible, non-intentional explanation, right?
Absolutely. We can't underestimate the Nevada desert. It's incredibly treacherous, incredibly unforgiving, even for someone like Kenny who knew it well.
What kind of dangers are we talking?
I mean, everything. Extreme temperatures, blistering heat, causing dehydration and confusion, freezing cold at night, causing hypothermia. Dangerous wildlife? Sure. Rattlesnakes, maybe mountain lions, though less likely as a cause of total disappearance. But critically, and maybe most relevant here, are those countless old, unmarked mine shafts.
The ones near where his phone was found.
Exactly. They are literally everywhere. Relics of old mining days, often hidden by brush or crumbling ground. Many are just vertical drops, hundreds, sometimes thousands of feet deep, hidden death traps.
So he could have just fallen.
It's entirely plausible,
Right.
tragically simple. He could have fallen into a shaft, maybe become severely dehydrated and disoriented first, or met with some other unforeseen accident. The desert itself, with its vastness and hidden hazards, is more than capable of erasing all traces.
And within that accidental death idea, the M cave itself could still play a role, couldn't it? Without needing anything paranormal.
Precisely. Some variations on the accident theory suggest he did find the M cave again, but it wasn't supernatural. It was just a particularly unstable mine shaft, maybe one that looked like an M, or a natural cave prone to collapse.
So it could have collapsed on him.
Yeah, or he fell in and it was too deep or unstable to get out of. This allows for the M cave to be real and the reason he was out there, but grounds the outcome firmly in geology and natural hazards. It provides a more earthly explanation for why he vanished completely. The cave itself became his accidental tomb. No need for aliens or portals.
Okay, now let's shift gears. This is where the theories often take that sharp turn into high strangeness, largely because of where he was looking, right? Near Nellis, near Area 51.
Yeah, that geographical proximity is a massive driver of speculation online. Nellis Air Force Base, and by extension, Area 51. The place is legendary for secrecy, experimental aircraft, UFO lore, you name it.
So people immediately think government secrets.
Immediately. It fuels theories that the M cave wasn't natural at all. Maybe it was a secret military installation, a hidden entrance, a testing site, something classified. The allure of government secrets in that specific area is just incredibly powerful for conspiracy theorists. Something must be hidden there.
So the idea becomes he stumbled onto something he wasn't supposed to see.
Yeah.
Maybe a secret project.
Precisely. Proponents of this government cover-up theory suggest Kenny, out there exploring remote spots, accidentally found a classified operation or a top-secret site. And the theory goes he was then silenced by the military, maybe some shadowy agency, to prevent exposure, to keep the secret safe.
And the lack of a body is proof.
For believers, yes. The complete lack of any further evidence, no gear, no gun, just the car and phone, is interpreted as proof of a highly efficient, sophisticated cover-up. Like, they cleaned up perfectly. It's the ultimate black ops explanation where the absence of evidence becomes the evidence itself.
Okay, then there's the theory that really captures the imagination, the one that taps right into sci-fi. The alien, portal, or paranormal theory. What's the thinking there?
Yeah, this one really leans into the strangeness Kenny himself described. It asks, why do people cling to paranormal explanations when maybe simpler ones exist? In these theories, the M cave isn't just a cave, it's something extraordinary. A literal portal to another dimension, maybe. A site for secret energy experiments. An entrance to an underground alien base.
Fueled by his description of the vibration and the hum.
Absolutely central to it. Kenny's initial description, the strange vibrations, the deep resonating hum, that overwhelming feeling of dread, it's all taken as direct evidence of something unnatural, something otherworldly. It wasn't just fear, it was the cave itself causing it.
It becomes proof of something extraordinary.
Exactly. Those vivid sensory details fuel narratives of interdimensional travel, alien abduction, you name it.
And again, the lack of a body. For this group, that's not evidence of a clever disappearance or the desert claiming him. It's proof he was taken or went through something.
Right. Indeed. For those who subscribe to this, the total absence of Kenny's body is seen as definitive proof. He didn't just die conventionally. No, he either went through a portal and is somewhere else entirely, or he was abducted by aliens connected to the cave, or maybe disintegrated, absorbed, somehow removed by a powerful paranormal force linked to the M cave.
Poof. Gone.
Basically, yeah. It's the ultimate vanishing act, explained by the supernatural. It satisfies that desire for a grand, mysterious narrative that goes beyond just, a sad ending. It turns tragedy into cosmic mystery. Maybe he's not dead, just elsewhere.
Then there are theories that question the cave itself. Maybe it never existed, or Kenny got caught up in his own story.
Right, the hoax or obsession theory. This suggests maybe the M cave was a complete fabrication. Maybe Kenny invented it for attention, for YouTube views. Or perhaps less cynically, maybe it was a genuine misidentification. He saw a normal rock formation or an echoey cave entrance, had a strong emotional reaction, maybe due to being alone or tired, and it just took on this mythical status in his mind.
So he got caught up in it.
Some theorists think so. That he got caught up in the story he'd created or amplified and then felt trapped. Maybe felt pressure to deliver proof of something that wasn't quite as amazing as he'd first described. It suggests this blurring line between reality and his online persona, where the story got bigger than him, maybe leading to a desperate act.
And that connects to another theory, a very modern one. The pressure from YouTube itself, the community pushing him.
Yeah, this is where you see that blurring of online encouragement and real-world risk. It's a big issue now, right? Speculation here suggests that the relentless comments, the encouragement, the dares, even the skepticism, go back, show us, prove it, might have inadvertently driven Kenny to push past his limits, maybe past his rational judgment.
For clicks, for validation.
Could be. For online validation, maybe to silence the doubters or just fulfill the promise he made to this audience that was now fascinated by his quest. That promise to film his return obviously weighed on him, even if he ultimately didn't take the camera. It really highlights those potential unintended dangerous consequences when online stuff spills into extreme real-world actions. The burden public expectation can place on someone when their personal story becomes a public spectacle. It's a dark side of internet fame.
And finally, there's always the possibility, often overlooked in favor of the stranger theories, of just plain old foul play, a random encounter.
Yeah, you always have to consider it. Given how remote the location was and that he was alone, some have suggested foul play could be a random crime, running into someone doing something illegal out there, which happens in remote desert areas, or even a targeted attack, though there's no motive suggested.
But the investigation found nothing.
That's the key thing. Law enforcement found absolutely zero evidence of a struggle. No signs of a scuffle, Nothing disturbed near the car or the phone. No blood, no torn clothing, nothing.
So it's possible, but unlikely based on evidence.
Exactly. While it's a valid consideration in any missing person case, this theory remains largely unsubstantiated by any physical evidence. It makes it less likely than some other explanations, though you can never rule it out entirely without a body. It just has the least supporting data.
Okay, let's try to pull some threads together here. Regardless of which theory someone leans towards, Kenny Veach's disappearance really highlights some big themes. What strikes you about the dangers of solo hiking in a place like the Nevada desert, even for an expert?
Well, this case is just such a stark, almost brutal reminder of those dangers, especially solo hiking in that kind of arid, remote terrain. It's a unique combination of hazards. You've got vast areas with zero reliable cell service or GPS. Get lost or injured, you can't call for help, and disorientation happens fast.
And the conditions.
Brutal. Extreme heat causing dehydration, heat stroke, confusion, freezing cold at night causing hypothermia. Dangerous wildlife is a factor. And as we keep coming back to, those hundreds of thousands of old unmarked mine shafts, literal death traps, often hidden.
So even an expert.
Even an experienced outdoorsman like Kenny, someone who knew the risks, knew the environment, they can still be overwhelmed if something goes wrong. A simple fall, a bad decision under stress from heat. The desert is just unforgiving. Its sheer scale and brutal nature can absolutely ensure a body is never found, no matter what actually happened. It's a vast, indifferent tomb.
And beyond those physical dangers, this story really speaks to how reality and myth can blur in our digital age, doesn't it? How a comment becomes an internet legend.
Oh, absolutely. Kenny's case is almost a textbook example. A personal anecdote shared pretty casually online rapidly evolves into this modern myth. In the age of YouTube mysteries and internet fame, these stories, even tragic ones, aren't just local whispers anymore. They get shaped, embellished, debated, and kept alive by global online communities.
Like those creepy rabbit hole lists.
Exactly. His case pops up constantly. It shows how these online narratives take on a life of their own. They create this powerful mix of facts, speculation, and actual folklore. The story transcends the person and becomes this shared cultural thing.
Why do you think stories about caves, especially portal stories, hold such a deep fascination? It feels connected to that online obsession with liminal spaces.
That's a great question. I think there's something deeply ingrained, maybe primal, in our fascination with the unknown, with thresholds, with hidden places. Caves are literally entry points to the unknown, right? To the depths below, beneath our normal world. They're dark, mysterious, echoey.
Places where rules feel different.
Exactly. It resonates strongly with that modern online obsession with liminal spaces, those transitional, eerie places that feel uncanny where the familiar gets distorted. And the idea of a portal specifically, it taps into our desire for extraordinary explanations, especially when faced with a mystery we can't solve. It's maybe more exciting or even comforting sometimes than a mundane, sad answer. It fills the void with wonder.
And thinking about the public encouragement again. Online communities can be so supportive, but here, how did that potentially turn into something risky? Pushing him?
It forces us to look at that dynamic, doesn't it? Between the individual and the online crowd, encouragement can be great, but in Kenny's case, it might have escalated into this risky pressure. You can almost picture him, right? Scrolling comments, hundreds of people saying, go back, show us, prove it. That's the heavy weight.
Yep, definitely.
The constant urging to return, to prove the story, to film it. It might have inadvertently pushed him beyond his comfort zone, maybe take risks he wouldn't have otherwise. Or like his girlfriend suggested, maybe that public pressure pushed him towards making a very private, tragic decision away from all those demanding eyes.
It highlights the potential dark side.
Yeah, the unintended consequences of chasing online validation, the blurred lines between digital interaction and real-world safety, the burden of becoming a public spectacle.
Looking back at Kenny's first comments where he was so open about the vibration, the dread, with hindsight, knowing about his depression, were there maybe clues or even cries for help that people missed at the time?
It's hard not to wonder, right? His openness and vulnerability in describing that experience, the physical feeling, the dread, it is noteworthy. He shared something deeply unsettling publicly. When you combine that with what Sherian revealed later about his long struggles with depression, it makes you question if his pursuit of the M cave was just about curiosity,
Or maybe something deeper.
or if it was intertwined with some deeper internal struggle, maybe a metaphorical quest for something, or an escape from his own inner turmoil. And that final choice, not taking the camera despite the promise, that feels like such a powerful nonverbal message about his state of mind, his vulnerability.
Yeah.
This somber reminder, isn't it? Behind every internet mystery, every weird anecdote, there's a complex human being. Sometimes the answers aren't out there in a cave, but inside. The digital breadcrumbs, in retrospect, maybe tell a more personal story than we first realized.
So ultimately, pulling all these threads together, what's the most plausible explanation, according to those closest in the investigation, versus why the mystery itself endures so strongly online?
Well, the most plausible explanation, the one supported by Sherian's heartbreaking account and the sheer lack of contrary evidence, really does point towards suicide. His history of depression, that specific chilling statement about wanting to disappear completely, it aligns tragically well with the fact that no body, no trace, was ever found. That scenario, while deeply sad, offers the most coherent fit for the known personal details and the unforgiving desert.
But the mystery persists because
Because the M cave itself was never definitively found or disproven, and because no body was recovered, that leaves the door wide open for more mysterious and maybe for the online world more satisfying conclusions.
people prefer the enigma.
Often, yes. The human mind sometimes prefers an exciting, unresolved puzzle over a bleak, confirmed tragedy. But the harsh reality is a lack of evidence isn't always a sign of a grand conspiracy or paranormal event. Sometimes it's just the sign of a very effective disappearance, intentional or accidental, in a landscape that's incredibly good at keeping secrets.
So what does this all mean for you listening? Was the MKs ever real, a physical place causing strange phenomena? Or was it maybe a metaphor for something deeper in Kenny's life, amplified, maybe distorted by that echo chamber of online fascination?
Kenny Veach's story really reminds us how powerfully these real-life mysteries can weave themselves into internet speculation. They create these enduring legends that keep captivating us, haunting us, blurring those lines between fact and the fantastic.
We hope this exploration has given you a clearer picture of the known facts and the really diverse range of theories surrounding this unsettling disappearance. If you have your own theories or insights on the Kenny Veach case, definitely share them. Thank you for joining us for this exploration. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review for Threads of Truth wherever you listen. Your support helps us continue to shed light on these unsolved cases and search for the truth, one thread at a time. And speaking of next time, we explore two linked disappearances, Terrence Williams and Felipe Santos. Both men were last seen entering the same Florida deputy's patrol car. Neither man was ever seen again.